Very good. All right, this is the Yom Yom for today. This is from the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, sayings from the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. Okay, one second. Okay, my father wants. This is talking about certain prayers that we say in the prayer book. But okay, my father once expanded. Let's see if I can get the pointer again. My father once explained Manishtana of the Seder night. We just a couple days ago, we had the Passover Seder. The Passover Seder, it's arranged in such a way that this what's called the Haggadah is written. And really the commandment is just to praise God and talk about how God took us out of Egypt. That's supposed to be, but I guess about 1,000 years ago, maybe a little, could have been before that, it was made into an order of how it should be done. How it should be done. Maybe even before that. I think that there's a little more than 1,000 years ago. In any case, it's an orderly way. And it starts off with 4 questions. 4 questions, right? What are the 4 questions? It says, how is this night different from all the other nights? This is the 4 children are supposed to ask. So in Chabad, we start off with dipping. What are the 4 questions? First of all, why is it that all other nights we eat any type of bread we want, chametz or matzah? Tonight we eat only matzah. Matzah. Then after that, there's a question. All the other nights we don't eat bitter herbs. Tonight we have to eat bitter herbs. They eat more, eat something bitter. On all the other nights of the year, we can lean over or not lean over, eat however you want. Tonight, when you eat the matzah, drink the wine, you have to lean over. And finally, on all the other nights, we don't dip our food. And tonight, we dip twice. Okay? The Chabad, most of the people, they begin with the thing of the matzah. So it goes in an orderly way because the matzah is a mitzvah from the Torah, and moror is only from the rabbis. But we Chabad, we begin with dipping, because it's a custom, and customs in a way are the essence of Judaism, customs, because it brings it into your day-to-day life. Okay, let's go. How is this night different from all the other nights? Ma nishtana alaylos and mikol alelos. How is this night different from all the other nights? Here we go. Ready? So we're talking about which night we're talking about. This night is the exile. We can't see God. We can't see what a Jew is. We can't see the preciousness of the Torah. We can't see the incredible holiness of the commandments. We're in exile. Jewish identity is all confused. And the Jews, okay, how is this exile different from all the other nights, all the other exiles? There was a lot of exiles. The Jewish people, of course, were in Egypt. That's what we're learning over here. After they were in Egypt, so they got out, went to Israel, and then after like 800 years, the first temple was destroyed. The first temple was destroyed, and then they went into exile in Babylon. They were in exile in Babylon for 70 years. Came back from Babylon, and they built the second temple. And then briefly in the middle, there was the Greeks took over. There was another exile. And after that, about 200 years later, whatever, the second temple was destroyed. And now we're in what's called Galus Edom. Galus Edom or Galus Romi. So we're now in all, so we've been in 4 exiles. Some people say the 4 cups correspond to these 4 different exiles. How is this exile, the last one that we're in, this Galus of Edom, how is it different from all the others? So that's what he answers. On all the other nights, we don't dip. We don't have to eat matzah. We don't have to lean, right? We don't, okay, so let's see. We don't have to eat bitter herbs. On all the other nights, we do not dip. Dip means immersion, like going into purifying ourselves. On the other nights, we don't dip even once. We are not purified at all. It wasn't completed because each one had another exile after it. When they were in Egypt, so they went out. After that was Babylon. After that Babylon, they went out. After that, there was Greece. Greece, they went out. After that, there was the exile that we're in now. But this exile that we're in now, all the others did not purify us. That's what dipping means, to go like to immerse in a mikveh. But in this, we dip twice. This will bring out not only the refinement of our body, but also the revelation of the true Jewish soul. This exile that we're in now, it should happen soon. On the other, it should happen now. Okay, that's one, dipping. Number two, on all the other nights, we can eat chametz, what's called leavened bread or unleavened bread, or matzah. Following each of the earlier exiles, our avoda was our godly soul. That's matzah. Matzah means purity, and also our animal soul. But this night, we'll eat only matzah. What does it mean, matzah? That there won't be any impurity. There won't be any chametz. There won't be any egotism, false egotism. The spirit of impurity will be abolished. And this exile, we eat only matzah. In other words, everything will be pure. One thing about matzah is that what is matzah? Matzah is a big mitzvah on Passover. It is flour and water. That's what matzah is, flour and water. What's bread that's forbidden? That's called chametz. What is chametz? Flour and water and air. You let the matzah rest for a while and it puffs up. That's the only difference. So what you see is not really what's there. What you're eating, regular bread, is flour and water, same exact thing as matzah. But it seems to you that you're eating much more. So that seeming is really not true. Matzah is truth. What there is, what you see is what there is. So then this exile that we're in, this exile, is only matzah. After this exile that we're in now, truth will be revealed everywhere. Truth will be revealed. We'll see just the truth, how good God is. And all the other nights, we eat all sorts of different greens, green things, yirakot, they're called, greens. Jealousy. The face of a jealous person turns green, right? Green is envy. And during the earlier exiles, there were various forms of envy. There was competition among Torah scholars, but this night, only more. What does it mean more? The most intense type of envy that there can possibly be. That will be envious of the good of every other person. Just envy is a good thing, potentially. And like everything in the world, it can be used for bad. Why is it a good thing? What's good? Because God created everybody different, and everybody has good qualities, and everybody has the ability to bring out these qualities. And sometimes if you're alone, so you think you finished your job. Yeah, I did a job. I'm the best, I'm the best that can possibly be. I've done my, all of a sudden you look and you see somebody else that's doing better than you, or that's more refined or more pure, and you envy that good. So there's three ways to react to seeing good in somebody else. The good way, namely say, well, I want to be like that too. I'm going to work harder. Then there's two types of bad envy. One type of bad envy is, wow, I wish that person wasn't so good. What can I do to take him down from his level? Like in a running race, to trip the other guy. Then there's the third type, which is even worse. And that is, I don't want there to be any good in the world at all. I want everybody to lose. Everyone should lose. That's the worst type of envy. Right? He's envious of, that sort of is what the non-Jews are envious of the Jews. They just don't want there to be any Jews at all. They just don't want there to be any representatives of God in the world. Instead of saying, well, these are representatives of God, I want to be also a representative. Maybe they can teach me how to be a representative of God also. Okay, so that's called bitter herbs. And this, we have the most intense type of envy, which will be that everyone will be envious of the righteousness of the other person and try to achieve the own righteousness that he has inside of himself, pushed by positive envy. Finally, the last one, on all the other nights we eat, either sitting or reclining. Eating is spiritual delight. There's an extension of pleasure, but then there's also what's called the essence of pleasure. Some people, by serving God, they can receive revelations of pleasure, but others, they can get the essence of pleasure. What does pleasure come from, by the way? When you don't think about yourself. Now, the more you think about pleasure, the more it evades you. This is a very basic principle, by the way, of Professor Viktor Frankl, that he really knew what he was talking about. And it's really sort of the, the downfall, the undoing of America today. America is totally falling apart. Morally, spiritually, practically, physically, it's all falling apart. Why? He claims, and I think this is a very good point, that one of the, inalienable rights in the Bill of Rights is that we take it to be self-evident that everyone has the right, I don't remember exactly the language, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness, that's the undoing, because happiness cannot be pursued. If you pursue it, it evades you, because pursuing it means you're egotistical. You're thinking about yourself. Happiness has to be, it comes from, it's a result of doing something for someone else or helping someone or something else, to be involved in something outside of yourself. As the more you're concentrating on yourself, the less you're capable of having a sort of pleasure. All you have is anxiety. And so this insane drive for pleasure and happiness in America is happiness is always evading everybody, and everybody's, it's like the carrot, the goat with the carrot in front of it. So that becomes the undoing of the American people. In any case, in the future, we're going to be reclining. That shows on pleasure will be the essence of pleasure. Everyone will be thinking about God all the time and not about themselves. And that will attach us to the ultimate level of pleasure there can possibly be. Pleasure is not a goal. Pleasure is a byproduct. It ensues from connecting yourself to the creator of the universe and by doing what he wants. That are the 4 questions answered in a short way. Now let's a story. I'll tell a story. 1 second. Let me turn this off.